Hi, hello, how are you doing today? I hope that you are doing very well. For those of you who don't know, I have participated in the magical readathon this month by Book Roast, aka G. I've managed to read 5 books and 2 novellas. I planned on reading only one novella, but I had to cheat a little bit and change my TBR at the very last minute and just read a really short novella instead, because otherwise I wouldn't have finished the challenge. I've read pretty good books this month, I must say. Like, some of them were really great, some of them were okay. I will talk about them in a second. I think I will start with the books that I liked the most to the ones that I liked the least. The first book that I read was Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson, which is part of the Mistborn series. Basically, it's part of the second era. You have 3 books in the beginning, and then you have more books that take place 200 or 300 years after the events of the first book. This is book 5, so it is the second book in the second era. I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I rated the previous one with 3 stars only. I didn't enjoy that one as much, but this one was so much better. So if you didn't like the first book in the era, maybe just try this one out too, because trust me, it's really worth it. I think the biggest thing that bothered me with the previous book was that there wasn't really like a proper villain. There was some sort of, but it wasn't as great, and we definitely get a better villain in the second book. So I really enjoyed that one. Next, I've read The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I also rated it 5 stars. It was more of a 4.5, I would say. I did an entire vlog about it, so I'll not talk about it as much. I think I would have loved it more if I wasn't spoiled by the original story. And also, I didn't enjoy the violence in the book as much. I was just not in the right headspace. I still ended up giving it 5 stars on Goodreads. I couldn't give it 4.5 because after all these years, Goodreads still haven't implicated the feature that allows you to give half a star. So yeah, really like that one. Next up, I've read Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. It was actually my first ever Jane Austen novel, and I think that this is not the novel that you should start with. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. It was a fun read. It's just that the main character was just annoying me so much. And I know that that's the whole point. She is supposed to be annoying. Also, I was expecting that we're going to be in the Abbey a bit more. I didn't really care about the plot at Bath. So yeah, still a really great book. Then I've read 2 novellas by Brandon Sanderson. The first one is Allomancer Jack and the Bits of Altania. I don't know if you pronounce it Jack. I've just been pronouncing his name Jack. I think it's part of like a newspaper for the people of that world, and I loved it. I give it 4 stars out of 5. It was actually more like 4.5. It's like it was written by Gilderoy Lockhart. Just the writing style and all of that, it just reminded me so much of him. But also you have a little notes in it that are written by his companion, and those are so funny. I actually laughed out loud while reading those, which I never do while reading. So yeah, really like that one. I actually think that I might change my rating to 5 stars after this video. We'll see. Then I read Shadows for Silence in the Forests of Hell, again by Brandon Sanderson. This is set in a completely different world, but still it's part of the same universe, Cosmere. It's set on this planet Threnody that basically has ghosts, kind of. And the rule is that you cannot draw blood. You can still kill some people, but just blood cannot be spilled at all. Otherwise, the ghosts will basically attack you and make you one of their own. I also rated 4 out of 5 stars. I wish we could see more of the world, because to my knowledge, this is the only story that actually takes place on this planet Threnody. I've heard that Brandon Sanderson might be working on a book set on that planet, but it probably will not come out anytime soon, which is really sad for me because the world was super interesting. Yeah, just really enjoyed that one also. Okay, and then let's move on to books that I did not really like that much. The first one is The Chalk Man by C.J. Tudor. It is a mystery slash thriller slash horror book. It's about a group of kids that are following chalk drawings until it leads them to a dead body. The case gets kind of solved, but also it seems really fishy. We follow 2 POVs of the same person. I think his name is Edward, I think. The first POV is when he was a child and he actually discovered the body, and the second is when he's a grown-up and basically this mystery gets reopened again. I should mention that there is a bunch of other mysteries as well. It's not just about this one body, but a bunch of weird stuff is happening all over the village, and I give it 3 out of 5 stars. It was more of like 2 stars actually. The reason why I didn't like it is because even though the main mystery gets solved, the other mysteries are just kind of hinted at, so you don't actually learn the full story and you can only guess, which I really don't like in a mystery book, because I want to know if I was right with my guessing. I think I've read the book in like 2 or 3 days because I wanted to know what happened, and I didn't get that. Sort of. It was just very disappointing, and then I googled the ending and some explanations, and some people also weren't exactly sure. Like, a lot of people had theories, but it didn't seem like there was like one clear explanation, and yeah, that really ruined the book for me, so didn't enjoy it as much as I thought that I would. And the last book is Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda by Becky Arbatali. I gave this 2 stars out of 5. I really didn't like the book. I've written a full review on Goodreads, but I'll try to summarize it. So it's about a gay high school student that basically gets blackmailed because of his sexuality by not really a friend of his, by a random person. They became kind of friends throughout the story, which I don't understand. My biggest issues were that some of the characters were really two-dimensional. In most cases, the descriptions were just reduced to their eye color and their skin color, which just is not it, my friends. Also, the book tried to tackle some societal issues, but I don't think it really did a good job. It was just that Simon, the main character, just randomly has this thought, and basically like this really deep problem gets summarized in a few sentences, and it was just so weird and out of place. And also, this is a spoiler, so if you don't really want to hear about it, just move on to the timestamp that is on the screen. Basically, Simon gets blackmailed. He doesn't do the thing that he was supposed to do, and he gets outed in front of the entire school for being gay. And I kid you not, he struggles for 1 chapter. It felt to me like the author had a bullet point, just homophobia, check, and then it was literally never mentioned again. And I kind of wish that it was more realistic, because after that 1 chapter it was just all perfect and all rainbows and unicorns and we all know how high school can be, so I was just really disappointed by the book. Now, one thing that is good is that we absolutely need more gay characters and we need more representation, and this is one of them. It came out in 2015, I believe, and if I remember correctly, we did not have that many gay characters in books. So at least it was a step forward. I don't know if it was that big step, but I do appreciate the book for what it tried to be, at least. I think because this book was so overhyped back when it came out, I think I just expected more, and this book just didn't deliver. That's it, really. I will not be setting a TBR for the month of October just yet. I don't know exactly what I'm going to read. I think I'll just go back to sort of mood reading. To be fair, I was getting into a bit of a reading slump because I was jumping from like one genre to the next, from like mystery to classics to fantasy to YA romance. Like, it was a mess. And in the month of October, I'll just read whatever. I'll try to read some spooky reads as well, even though I don't read them as much throughout the year. But where else should I read it if not in October, right? Okay, so that's it. Happy October, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.